Hey everyone, you know we're all about keeping you ahead of the curve when it comes to like finance and tech, right? So get ready because this deep dive, it throws us right into like a potential financial earthquake.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, we're diving into this snippet of a live audio session with this guy, Alex Grapov, and he sounds like a total crypto evangelist, like super passionate.
Okay.
And he drops some serious news about the FDIC.
Oh, wow, the FDIC?
Yeah. You know those folks who've been like safeguarding our bank deposits since the Great Depression?
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. So the FDIC and cryptocurrency, what's the connection?
Right. You'd think those two would be on opposite ends of the spectrum, like polar opposites.
For sure, for sure.
But that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating. Okay, so picture this.
All right, I'm picturing it.
Grapov is live. He's chatting with his audience, and he's got people so hooked they're tuning in from, wait for it, the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. That's dedication.
Right. That's how you know it's good stuff. And he's all about emphasizing how crucial it is to stay informed, especially about the news that like slips under the radar, you know?
Totally. I mean, that's where you often find the real gems, the stuff that isn't making headlines but could have a huge impact.
Exactly. Okay, so then he drops this bombshell about the FDIC.
Okay, I'm ready. Lay it on me.
He reveals that they're getting ready to revise their guidelines, and this revision could potentially allow banks to just dive headfirst into cryptocurrency activities.
Whoa, hold on. That's huge. If banks start getting directly involved in crypto, that could change the entire game.
I know, right? He even goes so far as to say that this could be bigger than anything that's happened in crypto since like Bitcoin's grand entrance.
I see his point. It's definitely a major development. While the FDIC embracing crypto would be huge, I'm not entirely convinced it overshadows Bitcoin's emergence.
Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely debatable.
But Grapov's enthusiasm is just contagious, you know? And he lays out this intriguing framework.
Yep.
He calls it the 4 cycles of innovation.
Interesting. Yeah, so he argues that any groundbreaking innovation goes through these phases. Like first people criticize it, then they attack it, then comes the lawsuits, and finally they embrace it.
Huh? That's a pretty interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it actually aligns with how a lot of innovations, not just in tech, but like across various fields, have historically played out.
Exactly.
Think about the early days of the internet, or even like the introduction of automobiles. They all face similar pushback.
Totally. And to illustrate this, Grapov uses Bitcoin as a prime example. You know, back in the day when that guy bought pizzas with thousands of Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was almost a joke at the time. Like, who would spend that much on pizza?
Right. It was almost a novelty. But then came the wave of criticism, you know, people calling it a scam, a tool for criminals. And like Grapov points out, the inevitable lawsuits followed.
Yeah, I mean, look at the XRP lawsuit. That was a major legal battle in the crypto world.
Exactly. He specifically brings that one up.
And it really dragged on, highlighting the legal complexities and regulatory scrutiny cryptocurrencies face. But I think, you know, this kind of trial by fire could actually be a crucial step towards broader acceptance.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, if a cryptocurrency can weather these legal storms, it gains a certain level of legitimacy in the eyes of institutions and regulators.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, it's almost a rite of passage. It has to prove itself in the court of law.
Yeah, something like that.
Interesting. Okay, so just as Grapov's digging into the nitty-gritty of the FDIC's potential move and what it means for the future of crypto, things take a bit of a turn.
Oh, what happened?
Well, it's live audio, so,
Yeah.
you know, classic shenanigans.
Did the audio cut out again?
You guessed it. Someone with the username Black Diamond jumps in and he's like, hey, Alex, your audio is totally messed up.
Oh, no. That's hilarious. These unscripted moments are what make live audio so engaging.
Right.
It's a reminder that this is all happening in real time.
Absolutely. And it's pretty funny because Grapov is so in the zone, he doesn't even realize anything's wrong. Yeah, he's just like going on and joking about how he zones out sometimes.
That's great.
So they eventually sort out the audio, and just as Grapov's about to pick up where he left off to really unpack the implications of the FDIC's shift, the audio cuts out completely.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
I know. Talk about a cliffhanger.
So we're left wondering what he was about to reveal. But even without that final piece of the puzzle, there's so much to unpack here.
Yeah.
You mentioned that Grapov sees this potential FDIC move as a sign of mainstream adoption. And I think there's a strong case to be made there.
Right. It does feel like we're at like this tipping point. You know, every day another big player in the financial world, dips their toes into the crypto waters.
Yeah.
Like Tesla accepting Bitcoin major investment firms, creating crypto products, and now potentially the FDIC opening the door for banks to join the party.
It really is a remarkable shift. For years, cryptocurrency was viewed with so much skepticism by these traditional financial institutions.
Yeah.
It was the Wild West, volatile, unregulated, even a bit dangerous. But that perception is undeniably changing.
And Grapov points out that the U.S. being like the economic powerhouse plays a huge role in setting global trends. So if American banks start fully embracing cryptocurrency, it could trigger a domino effect around the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The U.S. dollar is still the world's reserve currency, so decisions made by U.S. regulators have a ripple effect on financial systems globally. This move by the FDIC could really legitimize cryptocurrency in the eyes of governments and institutions worldwide.
Imagine the possibilities. More investment, more innovation in the crypto space. It's almost like we're standing on the edge of a new frontier. Exciting, but a little daunting at the same time. What are some of the potential downsides of increased bank involvement that we should be aware of?
That's a great question. While increased bank involvement could bring much-needed consumer protection and regulatory clarity to the crypto world, there are valid concerns too. More regulation could potentially stifle innovation, creating barriers to entry for smaller players or startups trying to break into the crypto space.
So it's all about finding that balance, right? Fostering innovation while protecting consumers.
Exactly. And we also can't ignore the risk of market manipulation. We've already seen instances of whales or large holders of cryptocurrency influencing market prices. If big banks start wielding their influence in the crypto space, it could exacerbate this issue.
That's definitely something to watch out for. You know, it's fascinating how Grapov frames the whole evolution of cryptocurrency using those 4 cycles of innovation he talked about.
Right.
It does feel like with this potential FDIC move, we're on the verge of that final adopt phase where cryptocurrency becomes truly integrated into our everyday lives.
I think he makes a compelling case. Remember just a few years ago, cryptocurrency was seen as this fringe movement, almost a threat to the established financial order. Now it's being embraced by the very institutions it was supposed to disrupt.
It's like the rebels have stormed the castle and are now sitting at the king's table. But the story isn't over yet.
Not even close.
Yeah.
This FDIC news, as significant as it is just one chapter in the ongoing saga of cryptocurrency. We have to keep our eyes peeled and see how the regulatory landscape evolves, how these new relationships between traditional finance and crypto unfold.
So if we zoom out and connect this to the bigger picture,
we start to see the potential for a fundamental shift in how we think about money finance and the role of technology in our lives. This goes way beyond just buying and selling Bitcoin. It's about reimagining the entire financial system.
Wow, that's a pretty profound thought. And to think it all stems from this one snippet of live audio from a guy who was so passionate about this news, he was sharing it even when his mic was acting up.
That's the power of information, right? It empowers us to make better decisions, to adapt to change, and to seize opportunities. While that cliffhanger ending was frustrating, it also serves as a reminder the story is still unfolding.
Yeah.
It's up to us to keep learning, exploring, and staying ahead of the curve.
It's like we're all detectives in a financial mystery. And speaking of clues, you mentioned earlier that Grapov alluded to the Trump effect before the audio cut out. Do you think there's a connection between this FDIC news and something that happened during Trump's presidency?
That's a great question, and it's definitely worth exploring. We know that during Trump's presidency, there were a number of policy changes and regulatory shifts related to finance and technology. It's certainly possible that some of those changes laid the groundwork for this potential move by the FDIC.
So maybe Grapov was hinting at a specific policy or regulatory change that he had some insider knowledge about.
And another possibility is that the Trump administration's focus on technological innovation may have indirectly influenced the FDIC's thinking. Remember, Trump often talked about the importance of cutting red tape and fostering a more business-friendly environment.
Right. He wanted American companies to lead the way in areas like artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and, well, cryptocurrency.
Exactly.
So maybe this potential FDIC shift is part of a larger strategy to position the U.S. as a global leader in the crypto space.
It's a compelling theory, and it would certainly align with Grapov's enthusiasm for this news.
Yeah.
He seems to believe that the U.S. is on the cusp of a major crypto breakthrough, and that this FDIC move could be a catalyst for that.
It's all very intriguing. So what does this all mean for our listeners? What actionable insights can they take away from this discussion?
I think the biggest takeaway here is the importance of staying informed and proactive. The world of finance, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency, is constantly evolving. Don't just passively consume information. Actively seek it out, question assumptions, and do your own research.
It's like we're all explorers charting a course through uncharted territory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while it can be tempting to rely on experts or influencers to tell you what to do, the best way to navigate this landscape is to develop your own understanding and make informed decisions based on your own research and risk tolerance.